Hi, Elasticians.
Howdy, y'all.
Today we're going to be talking about boot looping. We'll be inducing and troubleshooting a boot looping scenario. And I thought we would start with the first boot looping scenario on this doc that has to do with secure settings.
I like it. So we're going to be inducing it on Elastic Cloud. Annie's going to be driving. And then I'm also going to show that the exact same type of situations can happen in an on-premise Elasticsearch cluster. At some point, though, we'll majorly be troubleshooting in Elastic Cloud. So I'm going to follow along to what Annie does, but let's go induce it.
Yay! So hopping over to the my Elastic Cloud deployment, test v1. Right now it is showing healthy. I have a curl command all ready to go just to confirm. Status is green and everything currently looks pristine.
Agreed. Also calling out, it is currently a one node cluster. So if we take it down, we are fully taking Elasticsearch down. Fingers crossed that it comes back up.
If not, we have a backup cluster. Everyone, don't worry. Okay, so following the docs, this is the most frequent cause of a failed deployment configuration, and it's invalid or mislocated secure settings. So we're trying to induce this error message. So let's go into security, and we're going to add a new Keystore.
I love that you put wahaha.
It's obviously a fake Keystore. It won't work.
Okay. Every time I have to write in that box, I'm like, man, I always forget to put all caps. Like, okay, awesome. So yours added.
Yep.
For the audiences at home, we do want to emphasize that when you initially add a Keystore, it is not taking effect on the cluster. So Annie, if you'll run that cluster health again, the cluster is still status green and the number of nodes is still 1. So the highlight is that the Keystore is not going to take effect on the cluster until the next plan change. So let's go do a plan change.
Do we just want to run no op, or what do you think would be the best?
So when I was testing, I was trying a no-op, and I could get it to work sometimes and not other times. I agree, let's start with a no-op. We'll then afterwards use node uptime in order to guarantee that the node restarted to apply our changes. So a no-op plan is you just click edit, scroll down, and hit save. And then when it goes to confirm, yeah, it's going to kick off a plan under the activity tab. I think yours literally just said it already finished. It probably did not restart the node then. Instead of running cluster health in your terminal, will you run cat nodes? Question mark B as in Victor. And then ampersand.
Stack.
I know. Ampersand H for header equals name comma uptime. So this is what I was babysitting when I was originally trying to induce it. Yeah, you've been up for an hour now, so it didn't restart. So the other thing that I tried is just if we add another node into the cluster, we are guaranteeing that it is trying to start up. So just go back to edit and expand your zones from 1 to 2. Awesome.
Oh.
Okay, so this should be trying to start up that node. And that node startup will eventually fail. But because it's going to boot loop, it's not going to end up showing in cat nodes. But it will try to start up 4 times, so we are going to be waiting a little bit for that node to start up. For everybody else, Annie can't actually see this, but I'm going to start up my local Elasticsearch, which also has the Keystore. It's going to fail. And then just imagine that happening 4 more times, and that's what Elastic Cloud is doing, just in case there was some type of transient issue.
I bet it's beautiful stuff.
I'm sure. To be fair, you have probably already failed booting the first time, so you should be able to see error messages. So this is where it actually becomes a fun thing to investigate, right? Like, how would users normally go and investigate those log messages? Where I purposely did not enable logs and metrics yet. And then for home audiences, I'm just going to highlight real quick the actual thing that it errored is what Annie earlier showed in the docs and is what we're going to be finding.
How interesting. Whoops, I probably shouldn't be doing things yet, sorry.
Like, again, I agree. Like, it should have boot looped at least once. Sorry. It should have tried to boot at least once and errored. So, oh, and you failed.
We failed. Oh, try again and contact support.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That's Kibana. We don't want to solve Kibana until after solving Elasticsearch. Okay, so Elasticsearch does say the message that we expected. If it's okay to highlight, that yellow box says, like, how we recognize the problem. Some instances were unable to start properly, and then it says learn more. Learn more links over to that boot looping doc we started with. So we know we're in that situation and need to troubleshoot it, also because we purposely induced the problem. So the next question is, how does that doc claim we investigate boot looping? Sorry, you've probably scrolled a little bit farther down the page. It ends up talking about, like, you set up monitoring and or look at logs and metrics. So you are expecting in your deployment to go to your logs and metrics tab. Yeah. And so because I hadn't turned on logs and metrics before, like, we can't do it in stack monitoring or discover or whatnot, but we can use this 24-hour view. So let's see, like, if the messages we see in the doc also show for us here.
Booty.
Oh, I'm sorry, like, you can search for those messages.
Bing! But
yeah!
I'll still search. I'll still search for it just so we can.
Oh, those are 2 separate messages. You just copied 2.
Oh my goodness.
The unknown secure setting is, like, we put in a fully bogus thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus the other one is if it is a valid secure setting and then you just do it weird. You didn't put it inside of quotes.
Every time.
Dude, every time I do a KQL search when I intended a Lucene.
There you go. Okay.
I don't know why you... Oh, yeah.
I'm looking for both.
No, we're looking for the second one because we did a fully bogus Keystore, so it doesn't even validate as a secure setting, quote unquote. Okay,
well, here we...
So we found our problem, which is awesome. So most users would come in at that plan change and then afterwards it'd be like, oh, like, I follow that doc and I find that I have an invalid setting, and then at this point they need to go resolve this will fail. Obviously for our circumstances, we added a bogus Keystore and we're just going to remove that bogus Keystore and just demonstrate that that works successfully. For some users though, that potentially quote unquote bogus Keystore is valid but relates to a plugin rather than something default to Elasticsearch, which is why Elasticsearch doesn't recognize the setting but doesn't guarantee that it's actually an invalid setting. If that was the circumstance, we would tell users that they need to go figure out and fix their plugin and then try again afterwards. But let's go fix it.
Here we go. Back to the security tab. Scroll on down. This will fail. I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. My failed Keystore is now deleted. Go back to activity. I think we should try reapplying.
I like it.
I like you.
Good.
Okay, here we go.
By now it might be awkward if you didn't.
You know, truly. Okay, so we're waiting.
And then I'm just showing folks at home, after removing that Keystore, Elasticsearch is starting up successfully. And then I'm going to cancel out of that so that I can watch those nodes come up with you. Oh, both of your nodes are up.
Yep.
Can you run that cat nodes command again? Just prove that they are up. Yeah, we did it. Things to highlight here, right? That first node, node 0, never restarted during this call because it didn't think that it had anything valid to apply to it. But node 2 did restart, or eventually came up for us after we fixed that Keystore stuff.
Woo!
Questions, concerns, highlights?
I was just gonna go back and look at. Oh, we should talk about.
Oh yeah.
Showing is unhealthy.
Why does it show unhealthy?
Let's see. This succeeded.
The node's up.
Interesting.
Which node was it? Node's 1?
Node 1. Why is that 90 gig? Oh, okay. Never mind. Scared myself.
Node 1 claims the container has started true. It literally just says healthy as false. But it looks healthy to me. Can we just do a no-op against it? Doing a no-op should also clear out the Kibana health message that we're receiving.
100%. No opping. I don't know why this is taking so long.
Because it's trying to decide if it wants to. Machines are sentient, don't you know?
All right, there we go.
It still says unhealthy. But Kibana thinks it's healthy now. And the node still claims to be up, so I'm thinking that's just a residual. Because we did a test.
Okay.
Yeah, this also may fall under the like the monitoring polls every so frequently, so we potentially have to wait for that 5-minute window, which I'm not super willing to wait for.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. We did it. High five.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah.
We successfully shown you how to add a bad Keystore.
And how to remove it right after.
Right after.
Yeah. To be fair, this is like very frequently the type of cases that we see. So, especially because you can add a Keystore and it doesn't take effect until your next plan. Sometimes people don't realize that they did it to themselves days earlier. So I do think it's helpful. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Thanks for letting me. I got a little nervous and kind of tripped over myself.
You were great. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.